Hello again, guys, and welcome back to the Westclox Big Ben Style 7 series. Just in the last part, put our alarm assembly back together. Pressed it together. It's looking great. And we're going to reassemble our hairspring and balance wheel here. We're going to be installing them shortly. So using the pictures and video I took in the last parts, we're able to kind of know where it all goes together here. So I've got my impulse pin facing this way. We got our hairspring there. And you can also tell which way the hairspring is, either it's upside down or not, by seeing where the bottom of the cullet is. As you can see, it sticks out. So that is the bottom. The top is going to be where the cullet is just smooth on there. So if that makes any sense, I hope it does. Some of you may find it hard to kind of get something that'll work for this particular task, but I've got a movement plate here with a hole in it. And what I'm doing is I'm just taking this hole and just putting it on top of this and just lightly pressing the hairspring cullet on to the balance staff here. As I said, some of you may not have anything lying around to really do this task. And, you know, this is off a Style 66. This is a center arbor. This thing has some issues. One of the pillar has stripped screw threads. And I'm pretty sure this thing might also need bushing as well, but I'm not entirely sure. So that's just kind of parts. I use that thing very often. It's kind of like a universal, like it fits most balance wheels, at least most Westclox ones anyway. And it's just perfect enough to get the cullet and not the actual hairspring itself. So if you can find something, some kind of bit or something to fit that, it's very risky business though with that, because you know, you don't want to have it slip and then hit these center coils here. You need it just a little bit lower. Oh, that's too low. And if that happens to you, then you can just take this and take a pair of pliers. And now it's going on the wrong way. Great. I might have to do that again, because this is way out of, this isn't aligned right now. Yeah, so you can just kind of do that. And this is also one of my personal favorite ways of doing it as well. So just tap it, hammer it. You don't want to tap it too much. This needs a little bit further down. Not by much, we're almost there. Still not quite right. That's probably just about right there. That's good enough. Now what we're going to do is take our balance cup and reinstall it. Now make sure this thing is nice and clean. Run a toothpick or a Q-tip through here if you haven't. You know, just seeing, oh, there's a little bit of dirt coming off this thing. Here yet? No, not much. Maybe this Q-tip was used already. Anyway, you want to make sure there's nothing coming off this thing, because this is where the balance wheel pivots on, and hence why it's got that name, the balance cup, or at least I call it that. No other horologist I've ever met calls it that, so maybe it's not it. But it's the balance pivot. What would have been pivot jewel if it was jewel, but it's not. And I don't think anything's coming off this anymore. All right. Using my magnetic screwdriver here. And as for using magnetic tools about or around these movements, whoops, you wanna do it probably away from the actual hairspring, because that's where you're gonna have trouble. And this thing, yeah, see, this is why you don't take this gear off, viewers. Oh, we're gonna actually work now. Yeah, I gotta glue this thing on again, but it's not. That's not stable. The way that is. I'm almost considering replacing it, that, honestly. Because it's kind of... I don't think it'll ever be the same again. Hopefully no one does what I did. Okay, well, that's going to be off for now. Anyway, yes, let's oil our balance cup here. Or a balance jewel or whatever. Take our Liberty oil here again. There it is. That's the oil we're going to start with. Put that there. I'm sticking my oil in the cup. The oiler. I just put one more drop in there. Okay. And same for the other side. Of course, this side does not come out like the other one does. There we go. Those are fairly deep cups, so it's kind of easier to get it in. Okay. Now flip our movement over again. Stick our balance wheel in. Actually, I'm going to put our regulator over here. And put it in. This isn't working very well, is it, viewers? Yeah, sometimes this stuff can happen. Here we go. As you can see, I'm just screwing the cup in by hand at the moment. There we go. And see, our spring is, like, I'm trying to reverse. I'm trying to get the actual impulse pin to be all lined up with the wheel here, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to have to reverse. Yeah, I'm going to have to push the hairspring away from here. It's just kind of, you know, it's not bad or anything. I'm just have to adjust this quick. Typical hairspring antics here. Actually, you can push it down out of the way. There we go. But for this one, I don't think we can get quite like that. We're going to have to do some extraordinary procedures here. It's not in there, as you can see. It's just around it. I don't know if that's an original bend or not. There we go. And it looks like, yeah, I know, it looks super distorted here. There we go. Yeah, sometimes these things can get kind of caught and things look kind of worse than they are. Okay. I'll just hook this in that hole there. And we'll do that hopefully twice. That was really easy, actually. Yeah, hairsprings can be interesting that way. As you can see, I just kind of pushed it back, and then it locked, and then it, went in. I turned the wheel around, just flicked this coil here a little bit, and then it went in. There we go. We are nice and installed. And this should be right now. Let's see if we can tighten this screw up a little bit more. Not get it caught on the impulse pin. It's not making, there's a lot of play in this right now, so you can adjust this screw to adjust the play. Why are these coils so close together? Maybe because this is over here. I would guess that has something to do with it. And the standard for the balance wheel, I'm pretty sure, is tighten it up to where it won't move anymore. This is what I've heard in all the other YouTube videos working on this stuff. Tighten the screw till the wheel won't move. There we go, it won't swing freely anymore. And then turn it back 1/4 of a turn. So that's approximately this here, I would say. Approximately there. There we go. Yeah, I don't know where that, I don't know if that's from some clock service manual or something for balance wheel adjusting, screw adjusting, I don't know. And let's get our taper pin in. So this one's kind of a nuisance because it actually has to go in under the big 90-degree angle or whatever you want to call that. So we're going to try our best to get it in under this. So I'm going to take it out first of all and push it forward. This might be easier than I thought, actually. Just stick it in. Making use of my pliers. Actually, tweezers might be better for this. I think I'm gonna grab my tweezers. Yes, viewers, this isn't really my favorite part of the process. I finally got the movement in a good position in between these wooden blocks there. The hammer was kind of pushing the movement up and over, and it was just a fiasco. And you can't even see what I'm doing. That's good. Okay, I guess I'm gonna try and have to film it like that. I don't know if every hairspring on these movements is quite like that. I don't know if that's entirely stock. I doubt this thing has been serviced before, but that doesn't look right. Or it doesn't look quite right. It's not bent, but it's just not, I don't know. That hairspring is not quite, shoot. That's not quite the way they usually look when they come. So, I think someone might have been playing around in here at one point. Doing who knows what, though, because this clock doesn't look like it was serviced ever. See, now it's in there, but it's not pressing it in. And I'm just kind of pushing the hairspring up against the taper pin there, just a little bit. Just being very careful pushing that taper pin into place there. Is that in? Looks like it is. And I'm just gently kind of playing around with this. Oh, it does move. Okay. It's not perfect. Adjusted that a little bit. Yeah, it's kind of a finicky process. And that wheel's in the way. Sorry, viewers. So what you want to do, what I'm trying to actually do here, I kind of take it for granted that people know what I'm talking about. Okay, you can see the wheel here this is what's called being out of beat. The balance wheel or the impulse pin is facing this way, when the escapement is this way, and it's the spokes aren't lined, or this spoke here isn't lined up with the pallet fork. That's not good, because it won't tick quite right. It'll go more this way. It won't swing backwards all the way. And then it might miss a tick or something and stop sooner. I don't know if it won't run accurately, but this needs to be kind of corrected here. As you can see, our hairspring is pinned correctly, so that's fine. Hey, look at this. There's a slot in the collet. If we just take a screwdriver, and I'm kind of skeptical of using my magnetic one here right now. I've heard issues with magnetic tools. Oh yeah, you can see how that's swinging, hey? There's no spring in this, but it's going more this way, even when the clock isn't actually running. And that is not an even swing. That's not a good swing, because it's not, because the tick will be affected by that in one way or another somehow. I'm just going to grab a non-magnet. And you can see, viewers, when the clock's not even running, you can see if I just give this a swing here, don't ask why that would move without a mainspring in it. But anyway, yes, you can see the way the wheel is moving. It's all on this side here. There's nothing happening over here. That's not good, because when the mainspring power kind of goes down, or when it slowly unwinds, this thing may stop prematurely. And also, this thing doesn't give you the even tick-tock sound, because it's just uneven. That's not the way this is supposed to run. It's supposed to be, or this spoke here is supposed to be under that pallet fork there. And yeah, the whole thing just doesn't work quite right when you do it like that. So if we look here, we can see there's actually a slot in our collet. We can take a non-magnetic screwdriver, hopefully. It's a fairly big slot, so that's nice and easy. We can hold the screwdriver in the slot and just turn our wheel. And then just turn it very little. Here, let's see if okay, we fixed it a little bit. It's better now. We gotta go back in there and do it again. Find the slot. Stick the screwdriver in. If you can make your own screwdriver. Turn it more this way. I've had to make 1 or 2 screwdrivers to fit oddly specific, not slots necessarily, but slots smaller than this by a long shot. This is really easy. Okay. And now we've turned it too much the other way. See that? Find it again. Stick our screwdriver in there. Adjust it ever so slightly. And I think we're almost in beat there. Yeah, see, now see that, viewers? Now it swings evenly both ways, because we're able to turn the actual hairspring around on the balance staff without removing it or unpinning it or anything like that. And because this clock is nice and big, that's a really easy process. So this is why this is a good movement. I like this, just all the different features, and you can come in and service it relatively easy. As you can see, the only real difficult thing was this here. We're going to try and get that collet as perfect as we can get it. There we go. That's well, actually, no, we can get a little better than that. All right, that's pretty decent there, so we're going to leave it at that. Next, what we're going to do, viewers, is I think we are going to reinstall the mainspring barrel and then start doing some more oiling on this thing. First, what I want to do, though, is put a little dab. Where can I put it? I'm trying to oil the intermediate wheel here, and I'm just trying to think where would be the best spot to even get in there. Well, everything's blocking it. That would almost be something you'd want to oil before you put it together. There's a little spot. That's a hard one, because there's so much stuff in the way now. I guess I could just get it in here. And And just try and oil that pivot. If I'm even hitting it, I don't even know if I'm hitting it right. Oh no, there it is right there. Okay, I think I might be actually hitting it. Get a drop of oil on there. It's better than nothing. And as for the cannon pinion, which of course is already attached on here, which is nice. That's a nice design, not having to remove that. Okay, and I've just oiled the I've oiled one of the gear teeth. That's not what I want. Okay, I think we got that cannon pinion there somewhere. And we're gonna oil this area here, this spring-driven thing. That all there. That's all, you know, I see there's a spring there, washers, clearly pressed together, that thing. I'm gonna oil this here as well on the other side of the center wheel. We're gonna oil / put the spring in. There we go. And you can see the oil kind of, like, when you move this around, you can see the oil in there. Maybe you can't now. You kind of can, but anyway, there is oil in there, trust me. So yeah, okay, we're gonna, yeah. Okay, we're gonna put our spring in now, using goggles for eye protection, just in case the spring decides to break in one way or another. And I don't want my eyes getting hit by pieces of steel, or spring steel, that are, you know, flying everywhere. And I guess the phone is gonna have to be at risk on this, but I can replace that. I can't replace my eye. Well, I guess I can replace my eyes, but I don't want to. Who wants to do that? You know, I may not have 20/20 vision, but still, not really in the mood for replacing my eyes. I believe that's all I need. Goggles and gloves. All right, now we got our main spring here, all nice and clean. We've got our spring barrel here, and we're just gonna stick it in here. This is a nice flexible spring here. We hook it on like that. And we just slowly coil it in. Coil by coil. This movement's supposed to run for 50 hours on a full winding. One full winding takes the clock for 50 hours, approximately. Oh, come on. We actually got to get it around. Yeah, I was struggling there for a minute. And you gotta really kind of push it in. This is what kind of makes me think, okay, this thing has a possibility of snapping, because this, as you can see, when it's out, it's way bigger. So you're putting it under some strain just by sticking it in the barrel at all. Not much strain, I'd imagine, but some. But, you know, I don't want spring steel slipping and cutting my hands, because that'd just be a delight. Oh yeah, I love having a massive cut. And yeah, my hand got tired there for a second, so I just pulled it aside. Held the spring. This stuff's small enough where I don't think you need a mainspring winder, although it would be handy. There we go. And there it is. It's all packed up. I can take off my goggles now, because even if it did decide to break, it would probably shoot forwards and not up. So forwards being other parts of the barrel, and this thing just gained a whole bunch of weight. I'm just going to take my oil bottle, dab it here, here, and here. Also get it on the bottom there a little bit, and also all over the middle section here where the washers and all that fun jazz has to go. So here's the barrel cover, or aka the great wheel. Well, it's not really a, yeah, it's a great wheel. I'm going to stick our great wheel washer in there as we lose it in the actual spring barrel. That's not what we want. Actually, okay. Here, get out of there. All right. I don't know if I should put some oil in there before I stick that in. I don't know. Guess it wouldn't hurt, would it? At least dab some oil on this side there. Stick the washer in. I wonder when the next time that'll come out. And there it is in there. And this is super easy. We can just stick this, put this together now. And we're all ready to go. So this spring barrel is like probably the easiest one that Westclox has to assemble. And you know what? I'm gonna actually undo this. Oh no, the spring doesn't want to let go. I was gonna say I might oil that middle section a little more on the top because I kind of just got the bottom, but it looks like there's oil in there, so I'm not gonna do anything about it. Then we got a washer to put on top here. And, oops, if I can get it. And we got our stopworks gear after that. So I'm just going to grab another little drop of oil on here and put it on the top of this. And stick it on like that. There we go. There's our spring barrel fully reassembled. And if you wanted to oil, you could actually oil after the cover was on, because as you can see, this gear has spokes. And later versions of this barrel have not spokes, but they just have a bunch of little holes stamped everywhere on the great wheel. It's the same barrel, I'm pretty sure, but it has the same purpose. So anyway, let's reinstall it. Now I haven't tightened the pillar nuts up, so I'm just gonna undo them a little bit by hand. And this wheel popped off for the 80th time. We're just gonna leave that for now. And I'm actually gonna oil the front of this because I see there's some kind of wear, I guess they are wear lines, sort of. They're marks, you know, where the actual gear and all that fun jazz has been. So I'm just gonna dab a little bit of oil on that. And then just stick her in here like so. And it's in. I can tighten these nuts here. Yeah, like it's really easy to get this out of here, viewers. I'm pretty sure, actually no, I am sure the original service manual for these said for servicing, take the spring barrel out. I think it recommended that you also take the balance wheel out and then dunk the rest of the movement in a can of gas and call it a day there and just leave it at that and don't take it apart any other way. Well, that's not a very good way of cleaning it. I mean, like, as you saw there, we're messing around with toothpicks and stuff a lot in this series. You know, just cleaning different elements of this thing. We really shouldn't be just dumping it in gas or whatever, because it doesn't really clean it, you know. It's just kind of, oh, that's the wrong way. It doesn't really clean it. It just kind of loosens it up a little bit, and, oh, what the heck? What the what? I think I'm putting it on upside down. Whoops. Ah, yes, here we go. Yeah, there's those little kind of guiding holes there. Okay. And I guess theoretically you could put it on backwards, but why would you do that? I don't know how I'd sleep at night if that's what I did. Oh. And we got this screw here. Oh, is this the wrong screw? There we go, there's one. And there's our, for a second I thought we lost one, but no, we got it. Oh, as I lose it. And there is door number 2. Look at that, viewers, it's together. Look at how much space that thing takes up. That's a big barrel there. That is a big one. And we'll grab our winding key if we have one. I don't know if we even brought it inside with us. No matter. We have spares lying around. I've grabbed my 1968 Westclox Big Ben Style 8 that I've worked on with this same movement inside. We're going to grab the winding key off this guy. Since I don't know where my parts one is at the moment, I don't want to go looking for it. We're going to see if we can get this guy to run here. So we're going to also kind of analyze the way the stop works on this thing. Okay, there we go. We're screwed in now. So the actual key turns the barrel, and what holds the barrel in place? What keeps it from snapping back? It looks like this wheel here. Yeah, this wheel turns. And the key isn't fully threaded on there, you viewers. That's why it's stopping and starting. Oh, I put it on backwards. I hope not. Why is this key not working? There we go. Anyway. So that wheel holds this wheel here in place, because it's designed to only turn one way. That wheel there. So it can't turn the other way. And meanwhile, our great wheel is driving the center wheel. And what about our alarm here? Okay, well, I don't think we're that far into this nonsense yet. Let's wind it up all the way. Remember, this is without oil, so maybe the clock won't even start that way. Oh, there we go. There's our stopworks doing something here. Our spring is getting progressively smaller. There we go. Maybe it won't even run. I don't think she wants to run right now because of the... Yeah. You'd like it if it would do something, you know, before it's oiled, but clearly we're not getting that. Oh, we're getting a little bit of running. That motion's pretty poor. Yeah, don't want to. Okay, we don't want to run right now, viewers. I think I'm going to call this episode here because, you know, I want to oil it in the next one, and then hopefully then it'll actually want to run. And if it doesn't, well, then we'll see where we go from there, because it's fully wound. But otherwise, viewers, I'm going to leave you with the enjoyment of just seeing this one here from 1968 run. And by the way, I don't know if I edited this out or not, but I this entire time was cheating using this parts movement here. This is from 1963. Okay, this was virtually the same from 1956 to 1963. That's how long the Big Ben Style 7 was out for. If we can get this thing on. And then in 1963, this is one of the last ones, they get discontinued. In 1964, the Style 8 Big Ben is released, which looks like this. And the first generation, I'm pretty sure, of these was white and gold, like this one here is. It had the same movement in it. And yeah, it was great. It was just truly a great thing. And these guys lasted from 1964 to 1968. So this one is made November 11th, 1968. Or not, sorry, not November 11th. It's made November of 1968. I don't know the exact day. This movement here is the same movement that's in there. And this one's highly damaged. There's actually been an issue with one of the wheels here on the gear train. It's actually broken. And now the center wheel spins freely when you turn the time setting knob. That's not right. If you have a wheel or a clock that's like this, I'd try to replace that wheel if I was you. Your clock might be parts at that point. Or if you can try and fix it using glue somehow, go on ahead. But I don't know how well that would work for you. And it's funny because this movement here actually belongs in this case. But I had another one of these that was in really terrible cosmetic condition, but was fine mechanically. So I did a movement swap. I serviced it, cleaned the case up, basically used two clocks to build one good one. Two kind of poor, one wasn't working mechanically. Well, they both weren't working mechanically. It's a long story. Anyway, this is from 1968. This is the last generation of these guys. And Yeah, and this is a last generation Style 7 here, before they were discontinued in favor of the Style 8, which is behind it. So anyways, viewers, at least there is a clock running here in general. But for now, I'm going to leave you with just these guys here. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you enjoy seeing my little cheat sheet here. Yes, I was looking at this thing the whole time just to see how stuff went. Usually I will look at the pictures and video that I take during the series, though. Because sometimes, you know, like, for instance, the hairspring and balance wheel, that I did look at for picture reference. I took pictures and stuff to see where all that went. And as you can see, that just stopped again. A lot of rambling, viewers, I know. But on that note, we'll leave it here, and I'll see you in the next part.